Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm here with my review of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 14. This was a pretty decent episode. I'm starting to like where Fear is headed. We're gonna get into it throughout the review. Before I do begin, though, spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the episode, go check it out and then come back to this video. But with that being said, let's get started. So yeah, like I said, I did like this episode. I'm liking this new group in the direction they're going. It is a shame that it's almost the end of the season, I guess, because now it's just starting to get better. But that being said, not only the group, I like how these episodes are actually constructed. Like, I like the stuff we're seeing in the episodes, a lot of tension, especially with the Alan Morgan stuff. We're gonna get to that, but let's start off with the beginning. And I loved how Morgan brought up Jenny. That's the first thing I wrote down when I watched the episode. I really like that, because it's cool seeing that. Morgan does mention Dwayne every once in a while, but he never really talks about Jenny. And it was cool seeing him talk about Jenny, and it's crazy how that goes back to the first episode of The Walking Dead, like, ever. And here it is getting brought up on a spin-off of that show, like, nearly a decade later. So I just like seeing that. And yeah, I just really like the atmosphere this new group brings to the table. I really do. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Saviors, but they are distinct in their own way. And they're just super odd. I like the beginning when they met Tom and they were trying to hide from the group. That's what I mean. Like, stuff like that is what Fear the Walking Dead has been missing. I love that tension. And something I don't usually talk about, but I wanted to address in this review, is the dialogue. I actually like the dialogue in this episode, specifically the back and forth between Al and Morgan. I know sometimes in The Walking Dead, a lot of people say that the dialogue isn't very realistic, and sometimes characters say stuff that nobody would ever say in a real life situation, and I agree with a lot of that. But this episode specifically, just the back and forth between Al and Morgan, I don't know, just something about the dialogue I thought was well written, because that's I thought that's how people would talk with each other, especially people who are getting familiar with each other. So I don't know, I just like the dialogue between those two this episode. I like the whole sequence in the gated community. I really like that because there was a lot of good tension there, and just like sneaking around, like stuff like that is what I like personally. I like seeing that when it comes to this season, especially because there's been just a lot of walking around and talking. I like seeing stuff like this. So that was pretty cool seeing. One thing specifically I really loved was the underwater walker. That was an awesome sequence there, especially when Morgan came in and he jumped in the water and killed the walker. I like that. That's something we don't usually see on The Walking Dead. I don't even remember really seeing something like that ever in The Walking Dead, underwater walker battle sequence. I don't know. I did like that. And then when they got caught, this main girl of this new group, she's definitely interesting. When she put her finger in the jam and ate it, that was sort of gross. But one thing I did notice was how they, like, I think this group is pretty well situated. Most people don't have bottles of jam just on hand like that. So I would imagine it's pretty hard to find stuff like that. And it looks like that was something they kind of made because it was in like homemade bottles. So yeah, I do think this group is pretty well situated. They let Morgan and Althea go, but obviously that's not going to be the end of them. But they just have a really creepy vibe, and I'm excited to see more of them. And I do think this storyline most likely will spill into season 6, because there's only 2 more episodes after this. So this is an interesting group, and I'm liking the stepping stones that they're building here. And I say that with caution because I really hope Fear the Walking Dead executes this group well. I think they have the potential to. But the reason why I say that with caution is because they've actually done it a couple times this season where they let us down, or at least let me down. I was excited for the CRM, and I wasn't, all too excited for what actually happened. I was excited for Logan. I was sort of let down by him because there wasn't much. Like, he was an interesting character, but there's just like a bit too many gaps, from introducing him to actually fleshing him out, and then he just died. So stuff like that. Like, I really hope they execute it well and make it memorable, because the thing with Fear the Walking Dead is they need to have stuff that is memorable, like Martha. I think I don't even know if that was her name, but I think her name was like Martha from last season. Like, she's a very forgettable villain. So hopefully this villain is not forgettable. But things are looking pretty promising because I am liking this so far. And in the Grace and Daniel stuff, there wasn't too much going on there, but the ending with Grace, that I'm worried about Grace. I know I have a feeling she is gonna die because they've played it up too much. The stakes are there. She was exposed to a lot of radiation, and she's getting sick. So it would be quite a shock if she does survive. So I am expecting her to die, but that is also very sad because I like the bond her and Morgan has built. And you can tell Morgan cares about her. Morgan spent some time with her. Morgan helped her and helped her join the group. So it is really gonna suck seeing her die if she does die. I don't know if she is, but she is getting sick, so we'll see. But that's something I'm not anticipating, but I have a feeling it's coming. And they did a pretty good job with Grace. I gotta hand it to them because I actually care about Grace, and I sort of don't want to see her die because I like her. I like her presence. I like seeing her on screen. I think she's a charismatic character, a fun character, so they did a pretty good job with her, I would say. At least for me it worked, because I don't want to really see her die, but I have a feeling she is going to die. But that is where the episode ended off, and my quick final thoughts. Again, I do like where Fira is going right now. It took a while for him to pick it up this season, but now towards the end, this group is interesting, so hopefully it does, pay off. These next 2 episodes, hopefully they're good. The last 2 episodes are pretty good, so I'm excited to see where Fira goes from here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below about this new group and this episode. What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know in the comments down below. I am gonna wrap it up there for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and for more Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead videos just like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.